Savers, glad to have you guys join me. It's our Monday night Q&A, which is your chance to ask any questions that you have, saving money, couponing, budgeting. I'm really fine with questions being all over the board, but it's also a fun chance for us to cover a specific topic. So tonight we're going to talk back to school. We're basically right at the cusp of back to school deals. I know you're thinking like it's July 3rd, it's a holiday tomorrow. We're not going back to school anytime soon. I get that. But the deals are ready for you and you really don't want to wait to get them. So if you're the person who waits until, August 20th, when school starts on the 21st, making up those dates, that could be a Saturday for all I know. But if you're that person where you're shopping the last possible minute, you're gonna miss a lot of deals. So that's what I want us to talk about tonight, the deals to expect, where to go, things like that. So, and hello to everyone that's joining us. I know a lot of familiar faces most Monday nights, which is why I love Monday night Q&As. It's just a chance for me to get to know you guys and y'all to get to know me in a way too, as if life's crazy. So as we dive in, I do want to emphasize you are welcome to ask whatever your questions are tonight. So if you do not care about back to school and you want to totally talk CVS deals, that's fine. So you leave your questions in the comments. Yep, Teresa, if that applies to you, you leave your questions in the comments and we can go wherever your questions take us. I am fine with that, but I always have a plan. So this is our plan as we tackle back to school to try to hit lots of things there. So with back to school too, I do want to say, as Teresa, you're saying, I don't need back to school. We'll all be in that boat someday, though it makes my heart very sad. If you are, oh, that's awesome. Thanks for skipping the fireworks. I hope that we can be quite as wowing, Sue. Fireworks are a fun deal at our house. So one thing to emphasize with back to school is no, maybe you don't need the school supplies. Maybe I don't have kids that are in school anymore, but I can still either take advantage of amazing deals on computers, printers, laptop, all of those items. We see a lot of electronic deals for back to school that are better than Black Friday. That's what I try to emphasize, the biggest for everybody every back to school season. So Anna, yes, back to school deals are already starting, and Jamie, we are live right now, so hopefully you're seeing everything change and the comments come through. So this is the time to grab those electronic deals. This is the time to grab a lot of things that you may not put in that back to school category, but they're actually better prices now than they will be for Black Friday. So you may not feel like you're in back to school land, but it's still going to apply to you on some deals that you're going to want to grab. So hopefully that part will help. The other thing that I want to encourage folks on, maybe you, again, aren't in back to school mode, donate these items. So many back to school supply drives for school districts, for even some private schools, lots of places where you can give back. We're talking like 25-cent crayons here, guys. So it's super easy for you to donate those items with very little out of your pocket. So no, you may not have any kids at home. You may have never had kids at home. That's okay. Just think about how you can help other folks. So I know in our area of Columbia, there's a huge drive just for foster kids that are in the foster care programs to get school supplies in their hands. And those are, everybody needs that going back. So just to, keep your mind open on the deals that you may find and be able to grab those items. So with back to school, so some folks are saying, have they already started? Yes, and Allie just popped in the Staples ad this week, July 2nd through the 8th is good. Yes, so Staples is already running a lot. Office Depot is waiting. So some of the stores have not come out gangbusters yet, and we're going to see those stores next week, this very next ad, because July 4th basically is falling in what feels like the middle of a week. We've got some stores that are holding back, expecting you to be at the beach this week. You're on vacation this week, you're not in back to school mode, but next week all those other stores are going to join in. That's including Target, Walmart has already turned on the sales in their store, but they've not put them in the flyers yet. So you may not feel like those sales have started, but they have in Walmart. And they won't really change those prices. So as we talk about where to go for back to school deals, you may feel like Walmart's prices are amazing, but keep in mind that there won't be any sales along with those items. So what you see at Walmart is what you're going to get for the whole back to school season, where I'm actually going to find some deals that are even cheaper if I head other places. So, you know, just to kind of emphasize that side of things, that I am going to get a better deal watching the sales, just like I do in the grocery store. It's really not going to change back to school wise. So no, I'm not encouraging you to just go to Walmart and load up your buggy with everything that you find there. The deals will be better other places because of the sales. So where should we go? First, the stores that always win are Staples and Office Depot. They're going to have wars, that's what I call it anyway, on crayons, glue, and pencils. There's always a war on both of those items, just like the grocery stores have milk wars. Those are the three items that these stores are determined to beat each other on. So Crayola crayons, we're going to see as low as 25 cents a box. Right now they're about 50 cents a box in a lot of stores, just at the kind of all summer long sale prices is about 50 cents a box. But outside of this ongoing price, when they actually come on sale, they'll be down to about 25 cents a box. So watch for those crazy good deals. Glue, again, is going to hit that mark. 10 cents a glue stick is the cheapest that we saw last year. Those deals go very quickly. So again, we're talking Staples and Office Depot here. They may only have 40 packs of crayons. They were 25 cents a piece and they're sold out. And so you get frustrated by that. What I would encourage you to do is, with back to school season, all of these stores really do this all year round, but this is the best time of year to price match. So go to Target, take the Staples ad, take the Office Depot / Office Max. They're the same store. I don't really know why they didn't just make one name, but take whatever one you have near you. Take that ad to Target. Target has 400 packs of Crayola crayons. They're not going to sell out. So get the 25-cent price that Staples and Office Depot is offering at Target, where they won't sell out. Those penny items that that Staples and Office Depot are going to run, take those to Target and price match them. Walmart does not price match at the register anymore, so you're going to run into some headaches with trying to take advantage of that Walmart match. And Cheryl, you're kind of right on with that moment. But just to kind of emphasize that I really want to do that in Target. I'm going to price match those other stores mostly in Target. So yes, they're going to allow you to price match. You're going to do that at customer service. They price match all local competitors' ads, plus they price match online deals. So if I find any deals that are already running that I wanted to price match now, I could. I go straight to customer service. I do not go to the register. Emphasize that one. Straight to customer service, and just tell them. It's always good to have the ad with you too, especially for those penny items and 25-cent items. Hey, Crayola crayons, 24 count. I've got Crayola crayons, 24 count. They must match, just so you get that point. I cannot find, 8 count over here and a 10 count here. They have to be the exact same product, but they will give you that price match in the store at customer service. A few things on that price match, since a lot of you are saying, I never knew that. I'm glad I can teach you something new after all these weeks. For those of you who join me most Monday nights, one thing to push on that price match. If Staples had a limit on the penny item on the 25-cent crayons, let's say Staples was going to let you get 10, Target is going to push that same limit. So no going crazy here, no taking it to Target to get 42. You're still going to be following whatever the Staples ad said. And Melissa, on the penny items, Melissa said they wouldn't let you price match penny items last year. And that's the store here in town for me as well, Melissa. What I would emphasize to them is that their price match policy states that as long as it's not a timed deal, so it's not a penny item for the first 3 hours of Sunday, but it's a penny item for the whole week of the ad, and it's a national brand item. So I'm looking, I don't have any school supplies near me. I have tons of other things. If I were to roll out of the way, like I just keep random things in my office so that I always have a prop. This is not a school supply. So let's go with this. Let's say, this is pretend, that Office Depot put Sharpie markers on sale for $1. That's a pretty good price. I would be all over that. I love Sharpie markers. It needs to be the national brand, so it couldn't be Office Depot permanent markers. I can't price match that in Target. It has to be the national brand. But as long as it's all week long, it's not a specific timed deal, it's not a Black Friday deal, they will price match it. That's the corporate price match policy. So hopefully, if you have a store that's kind of being difficult on it, I would print that price match policy. But hopefully you're not going to have an issue with that. As long as it's the national brand and you're matching apples for apples, you're good to go. So again, for anyone that's just joining us, best deals on most tiny items, those school supply, almost disposable items, if you want to put them in a category. They're things you're going to use up and you have to buy every single year. Tend to always be at Staples and Office Depot, and then we can price match those other places. Staples has already kind of turned on the deals in their ad, but they're going to get better after this week even. So this ad is a fun week, but even more deals will start next week. They also, one thing to push on Staples, as we talk Target price match, it wouldn't really be fair to not talk Staples. Staples with school supplies has 110% price match guarantee. So with Staples and their 110% price match guarantee, that is good online and in the store. So either way, and they have this on their website. I can stick it in the chat for folks so that you can see the links to that. Let's see, for some reason, the YouTube chat is not wanting me to be signed in, so hopefully I can get this in for you guys and y'all will see it. But the Staples 110% price match guarantee. Oh, my husband's sweet. He's bringing me show and tell that's not Pantene. I should have prepped a little bit more than my long list. Thank you. I evacuated the house because we were nowhere near bedtime. Where normally we kind of throw kids in their bed, but now we have show and tell. So the Staples 110% price match guarantee, not to lose my train of thought here, is online and in stores. If it's online, you're going to need to call their 1-800 number to give them the URL of where you found it cheaper, and they will give you the price. So you're going to end up really on the phone, not ordering online. But in the store, all you have to do at Staples is bring in proof of the qualifying lower price. So it could be the weekly ad, whatever you've got, and they will 110% price match guarantee it. So you have the better deal at Staples on those items. So to emphasize what I would focus on for those items, I would not necessarily do that here. Let's not worry about 110% price match guarantees. These are actually Staples pencils, but you get the idea. So not little tiny things. I would actually go with bigger items on that. The only thing that it excludes is copy and print products. It's not going to exclude, and gift cards. So I could, if I'm looking for a really great deal on a graphing calculator or a really great deal on an iPad, I can use that 110% price match guarantee at Staples. So it's going to end up making the electronics deals probably better at Staples than in other places, just to kind of emphasize that guarantee and not really missing out on the deals that it makes. So that's Staples, 110% guarantee. It will run all back to school season. And one other thing to emphasize, if you buy the item at Staples and then within 14 days you find it cheaper, you can bring in the lower price and they will still give you the difference. And that's even if you find it cheaper at Staples. So that's a fun one. If I ended up grabbing the deal at Staples and then I found it cheaper anywhere, including the Staples ad, within 2 weeks, I will get that 110% price guarantee as well for those items. So, and Melanie's saying, I'm already considering returning things. I would, you know, if you kind of jumped into back to school before today, you really did jump in early. If you've got the receipt, you could. That's a tricky one to decide on what to do. So let's go to specific items. Michelle's asking, you know, what's a good price for a basic laptop without all the bells and whistles? So Michelle, it depends. When we say basic, I mean, we could be talking Chromebook here. It really depends on what you actually want this laptop to do. But you can find good laptops that are at the $200 mark without a problem. So if we're talking basic, you're cool with it being an Acer. We don't even need it to be a Pentium chip inside. We're cool with it being an AMD, which these are the off brands of computers. 200 bucks, you can definitely do it. So laptops and where they'll be the best prices, Staples won every deal hands down last year on electronics, and I expect them to come out strong again this year on laptops. Walmart also got some incredible deals online. Very few deals in Walmart that were in the store because their supply in the store is very limited. It's very hit and miss as to what each store has. But Walmart had some good deals online. They went really, really fast. So that's what I would warn you on. The Staples super good deals, I would be ready to buy those either in the store the day before and do the 110 price match guarantee after you purchased it. That's the inside tip that I would give you if you're waiting for something, or purchase online on a Sunday, because the super, super good deals, and we're gonna see a lot of them, the big laptop deals, by the way, I should have told you this one earlier, do not start next week. The closer we get to the middle of August, the cheaper the laptops get. And I don't know why that is, but if you can hold out on laptop mode until the second week in August, you're going to get a much better deal than you are this week or next week. So July is not laptop month. Still back to school season, but we want to be late back to school season on that one. You're going to get a much better deal. But in that $200 mark, Michelle, you're going to get a good laptop. If you're willing to go up to even the $350 mark, you're going to get an excellent laptop in back to school mode. And again, I mentioned this earlier, guys, but for anyone that's just joining in, laptop deals for back to school season always beat Black Friday. So if this is something that you're considering, and it's I know we're going to have to get it within the next 6 months, really don't push it off past back to school, you know, that mid-August mark. Don't do it. You're going to really, really regret it if you're thinking that Black Friday is going to be better. It's not. So let's talk other items. Crystal says, what about school uniforms? Where are the best deals there? So most school uniforms, I would encourage you to do your shopping online. Old Navy, Gap, those stores have big uniform sections. Lands' End does too. Watch for them to run big coupon codes. I know Old Navy and Gap both are running 50% off coupon codes, 40% off coupon codes all through tomorrow night. It's running now as well, and that's good on school uniforms. You can even find some that are on sale. But I would encourage you to do most of those purchases online. Really, that's the tip I would give you on any clothing. So back to school clothing in general, we see much better deals online than we do in local stores. If you want to hit Kohl's, that may be where I told you to go locally, because I can still use all of those coupons that I would have used online. I can use them in my local Kohl's and still earn the Kohl's cash. But really, in terms of locally for Old Navy and Gap, we run into issues with sizes. So I don't know about you, I've got 12-year-olds. We're aging out of like the Children's Place and happy little kid places like that. And we're really kind of in that tween land. It's hard pressed to find decent clothing locally for a good price. So we end up online for everything. But I would stick uniforms in that as well. And Old Navy, Crystal, would probably be my big focus because they're already an inexpensive brand. But then adding in those 40% off coupon codes, even if you've got some Old Navy cash from one of the deals that they ran in the past. And a lot of folks I know rave about the Old Navy credit card. I don't have one, but the incentives of getting the free clothing from all the credit card, if that was a big expense for you, you might want to consider it too. One other thing that I don't want to not mention is consignment sales, when it comes to back to school clothing and uniforms, all of those items are going to be at local clothing kids consignment sales. So, you know, if it's something that we're really trying to save on, you should check them out. The prices that you're going to get used from a consignment sale are possibly going to beat new. New with a really great coupon, they could be neck and neck, but it could be a great savings too. So to jump back to Target price match, Carrie's question, can we use a cartwheel with a price match? No, we cannot. So Target's policy for a price match is that I either get the price match or I can use a Target store coupon or a cartwheel, but I can't do both. So I have to decide Target store and cartwheel or price match. I can always use a manufacturer's coupon with those, but I cannot use the store coupons with those. Just so that you're ready when you head in and you don't mess up. And they'll tell you really. So, and Melanie, welcome. I'm glad that you are joining in. Let's see. So TJ Maxx, I see you're mentioning it. To try TJ Maxx instead of Target. And that is a good one, Maria. Thank you for mentioning that one as well. For uniform and clothing deals, TJ Maxx and Marshalls both sell uniforms and super cheap items. The hard part with TJ Maxx and Marshalls is that they're going to be very hit and miss, and every single one is different. So if you went into yours and you texted your friend, hey, we found this huge section of uniforms, they really do not have stock that they send to every store. So you could find amazing deals at this one and then not so amazing over here. It's just going to be hit and miss, but it's totally worth checking out if you're in that area. Are they even better than Walmart? I would say yes. So again, when we stick in the Walmart mode, we're really dealing with a land of no sales. And if I focus on following the sale and the deal, I will usually always beat the always low price of Walmart. Always. So that's going to become our new slogan. But it's not necessarily always the deal that you think it is. Where was glue 10 cents last year? So Jamie, glue, it always is that glue war between Staples and Office Depot. So we're going to see that as being a penny item. We're going to see it as a 10-cent item some week. And then we're going to see 4 packs of glue that come down to 50 cents for a 4-pack, which is really, if we're going to do fast math, that's like 12 cents a piece. If it really just depends, and that's one that is a holdout if you are waiting that they can sell out quickly on, and it's usually their house brand. It's not Elmer's. So I can't price match that. If they sell out, I'm kind of stuck. You just have to be ready to jump on it. If you want glue, there's already a crazy good deal on Amazon. And if you go to Southern Savers and you click on Back to School, I posted this one over the weekend, but Amazon has a 60-count pack of Elmer's glue sticks. Last I checked, it was at like $11.50. The price changes and fluctuates because that's the joys of Amazon. But that comes out to 20 cents a glue stick just at the current price that it was last night. So that would be one. That's 60. That's a lot of glue. But you could split that with friends. You could have glue for the next 5 years. I don't know. You can figure out what to do with it. But we do already see some deals, and that's just going in bulk. So let's talk. Nicole says, I was looking forward to tax-free weekend here in Georgia, but I heard they are not doing it. Nicole, you're right. There are a lot of stores that are nixing back-to-school tax-free weekends. There are still a lot that are, but Georgia is not doing it this year. North Carolina is not doing it. North Carolina didn't do it last year either. But they are starting some in July. So let's just chat tax-free days if you're in that mode. Alabama's are first. Alabama wants you to get ready and get ready fast. Theirs are coming up on July 21st. So they are first out of the gate, 21st to the 23rd in Alabama. I'm going to post all of these tomorrow. I already had it typed up. I just didn't get it up on the site today. Tennessee and Mississippi are also the last weekend in July. And then most everybody else is the very first weekend in August, the 4th through the 6th. So that's Virginia, South Carolina, Oklahoma, Ohio, New Mexico, Louisiana, Florida, Arkansas, a lot of states. But there's really only 14 states that are currently doing tax-free weekends for back to school. So you're not alone in some states nixing it. For the state, this is really a massive headache. Just to share from a small business side what tax-free weekend does for them. The large companies, they can handle it. They understand how to turn systems off and they can code it, and they have a whole coding department that can handle it. This is now tax-free and it wasn't 2 days ago. But for small businesses, it's really a tax nightmare. So there's an emphasis on two sides there. They want the tax revenue. They don't really want to give it back to you, but the small businesses are kind of happy to and not having to deal with how do I figure out my tax this 2 days versus all the other ones. For Georgia folks, maybe you do. If you're really wanting that tax-free savings, maybe it's time to take a road trip. So you can go to Alabama, July 21st through the 23rd. You can come to South Carolina and Florida on August 4th through the 6th. Tennessee is also the 21st through the 23rd. So, my folks in Georgia, I think at any point in Georgia, you're only about 3 hours from any of those states. From most areas, you can get to a state within 3 hours. If you really wanted to make a road trip out of it, you could do it. But North Carolina as well, road trip, north or south. What about backpacks? Let's talk backpacks. Cindy's saying she went ahead and bought her LL Bean backpack, or to go ahead and buy LL Bean backpacks. I agree with that, Cindy. So LL Bean or Lands' End, both of those companies have great backpacks that you will pass down for many years to multiple children. We have Bean backpacks that have made it through 2 children already going down. We have a Lands' End backpack as well that's in that same category. Lands' End through tomorrow is running 40% off everything that's regular price, and backpacks aren't on sale. So that makes 40% off backpacks. So just watching for those deals for those 2 sites is going to be key on saving a chunk of money for both of those. Lands' End also, to give you a little inside help there, is part of the Kmart and Sears Shop Your Way Rewards program. So if you're grabbing some deals at Sears or Kmart and you're earning their rewards program, you can use those when you purchase at Lands' End. And I know that's like throwing a whole kink in the works for some of you who are like, what in the world? I didn't even know they had a rewards program. Don't worry about it. Just ignore it because you're probably not going to shop there on a regular basis. But just an idea for you if you already have those rewards that I can use them as we go. Let's see. How much harder and longer and less of items is couponing going to get over the next 6 months? So Stephanie, I don't know that couponing is going to get incredibly harder or longer. I don't see a lot of changes. I know some folks were kind of grumpy on the changes in the P&G brand saver, limiting you to 2. I don't know that's going to massively change things for most of us. You'll just grab your deals either on multiple days or split your transactions if you have a ton of coupons. But I think for most people, most folks get 2. I get 4. I have 7 people in my household though. So I don't need, I'm not, 2 won't do it for me. But if you don't have 7 people in your household, you don't need 4. So I think for a lot of folks, that limit isn't going to be a big pain in the neck. So I don't know if that's what you were referring to, but I don't see a lot of massive changes coming in couponing land. If anything, I've seen kind of an uptick in folks that are kind of getting back into it and are up for saving again, realizing that they need to be saving. And I think that might be growing, but I'm not an economist, just kind of from the things that I sense. Will they price match on tax-free weekend? Yes. So tax-free weekend is no emphasis to those stores whatsoever. It's really the state that's doing it. So they're going to totally price match any of the deals that are there. Let's see. And we hit back to school backpacks. I'm a little behind. I'm trying to catch up with you guys. So Lisa, the back to school deals, some started this week and a lot of the rest will start next week. And I do want to say, so Melanie's saying, this is my first time in this school game with a kindergartner. Yay! It's kind of a fun season. I don't know about you guys, but I love office supply products. So this is like an excuse to get to buy office supplies that I don't need, but I can convince my kids that they will need them. So if you're brand new into this, I do want to encourage you not to really wait for that school supply list. You know, ask around. So for the Melanies of the world that you're just getting into this, a lot of schools are going to say, well, we're going to give you a specific list. We only want you to buy what's on that list. Well, if you don't have that list yet, if they haven't released that list yet for your school or your classroom, I know some of you don't even know who your teacher is yet, ask the people from last year. What did you need to buy last year? Or bug the school. What did I need to buy from last year? At least give me some ideas because I'm not waiting until August. While I can say this too, I'm not a public school mom. We homeschool, but I would, even if I was the public school mom, I would probably look at that teacher and be like, look, I didn't get your list until the 3rd week in August, and I already bought all this stuff. So while it may not be on your list, you can have a lot of extra that I grabbed, but I didn't want to pay full price for what you were late on sticking out. So she would learn to love all the freebies that I would send to her, and hopefully that would help. But I am not going to wait around until you stick out a list and school supplies are over. So we do want to get started as they get going back. That's awesome, Stephanie. I'm glad you saved so much money on your first time back in. Okay. What about advice on buying a lawnmower? You're not going to like it. You said you're hoping not to wait until fall. This really isn't the time to buy a lawnmower. It really is fall. It's October when Lowe's and Home Depot are trying to clear out floor space to bring in Christmas. You can sometimes get good deals late September because they want Christmas in, you know, like in April. But that's really when we're going to get some crazy good deals because they want all those lawnmowers out of there come late fall and Christmas season. If you're not able to wait now, then price matching each other's stores, signing up for the Home Depot Garden Club. So that's online. HomeDepot.com offers a garden club, and they will email you coupons. Usually once a month is about how often I get them, but they'll be for $5 off, $10 off. It just varies, but that can be an extra savings too. Let's see. So thanks, guys, for chiming in on who has the best uniforms. When you don't know the kids' sizes, you have tall kids and plus kids, I don't know where to go for uniforms. That can be a tricky one, especially for buying in advance. I don't know what size you're going to be 3 or 4 months from now, where we're going to end up with growth spurts and whatnot. It's always good, Rachel, with any clothing items to always buy a season ahead and sizes larger than you think you're going to need. For me, I can always take those pants in. I can always even put a safety pin on the back of your pants if we get desperate. But being ready with the savings versus last minute with the shopping. And if you need to do that by, you know, consignment shopping wise, taking their measurements on a piece of string is what I would encourage most folks to do. If you've never been consignment shopping, it's crazy. And it's all about getting the deal before anybody else steals it and puts it in their buggy. But taking a piece of string and using like washi tape or something like that so that I know this length is your foot and I know this length is your inseam, but it's really all on one piece of string with a different piece of washi tape marking each of those measurements. That's a good way to kind of give you that inside tip as you're heading in. Way far off topic. When making an online order, how many gift cards are you allowed to use? Not store specific, just in general. So Erin, that really is a store specific kind of answer. A lot of them have no limits. It's however many you want to stick into the payment system before it cuts you off. However, if you're trying to buy something from Apple, you're going to run out really quickly. Apple is going to take 4. I've learned that the hard way. So it's kind of just figuring out from that store what they will take. If you're looking at making a big purchase, then I would recommend trying to grab big gift cards from Raise.com, from the gift card mall, from places that have them in discounts already, or the $50 or $100 ones that are from the grocery store with the gas savings back, just so that you're not going to hit that wall but every store is different. I would, if you are scared of it, I would make 4 your happy number and just say, let's try to get it in gift cards in 4. So what about cell phones? And my husband actually said, you should add that to the list. Folks are going to want to know. You are looking at the Samsung Galaxy. So Diana, cell phone deals right now, we've seen some crazy good Samsung deals from Samsung.com. Better than what we're seeing even from Target. So Target's been offering a lot of gift cards back with Samsungs. I know there's one this week that's a $150 gift card back with Samsung. But Samsung.com has been offering lots of deals. I would expect tomorrow for them to come out with one as well just for July 4th. They ran a week ago, a week and a half ago, buy one, get one, Samsung Galaxy 8s. And I know you're thinking, I don't need 2. Sell one of them. Buy one full price, get one free. They were unlocked phones. They worked on any carrier. Stick it on eBay and sell it. It's a brand new phone. You're going to completely make up the cost of the one that you just paid for, basically, or come out super, super cheap. My husband destroyed the port on his old Samsung phone, so he needed a new one. He couldn't charge it. He couldn't sync it. So we got him a deal from Samsung 3 weeks ago before the buy one, get one sale, but it still came out to be about a $250 phone. Once we took a credit, once we took a sale, that's not bad at all, versus paying all of the full value of the phone and $150 at or $150 gift card at Target. It's not going to come out to the same discount. So don't let those gift cards kind of fool you into grabbing them at Target. So if you're looking Samsung-wise, I would encourage you to head to the Samsung website for the best options. My Apple folks, if you're really, really sitting in Apple mode, best time to grab an Apple phone is going to be early September because the new Apple iPhone 8 is going to come out late September. And so whenever we have a new phone coming out, we need to get rid of all of the 7s and the 6s and whatnots. So if you don't care about the Apple 8, then you're going to get a really good deal on the 6 and the 7 coming late September if you can hold out and go then. And we've already seen some pop in occasionally. Okay. So lots of folks. So what about printer paper? So Rob, in general, in all of this supply mode, a lot of it is going to be Staples and Office Depot, and printer paper is already in that category. So almost every single week we see rewards deals at both of those stores. And lately Office Depot has been winning the rewards war between the two of them, where like this week at Office Depot, just pulling up that site, you can get printer paper for $1 if you use their reward system. You'll pay $6 for it, and then you get $5 back. But a lot of weeks we even see it down to a penny. So getting in that habit of grabbing those deals at Staples, those deals are usually going to be with their rewards rebate program that comes back on a Visa card. I can use that anywhere. So I paid the $6 for it, but I got $5.99 back on a Visa card that I can use at Publix. So I don't have to stick in Staples. This week, I can check super fast, but I don't think that Staples has our penny paper and whatnot, but Office Depot has it for $1. So if you're desperate this week, that's the one I would go for. You're going to pay $6 for a ream, and you'll get $5 back, and the limit's 3. So I could do that 3 times, and that's online only. So I'll stick that link in the comments here in just a second. I kind of agree with you. Heidi's saying, I'm not trying to pick on anyone, but why do people think Walmart has such great prices? It's really how Walmart came out and marketed. When they first kind of created all of their marketing systems, that's exactly how they did it. Was always low prices, and people took and bit. JCPenney's tried it. It didn't work for JCPenney's. As you note, they're back into couponing mode. Nobody believed them on it, but it worked really, really well for Walmart back in the 80s. So Angela says, how about a sale on graphing calculators? So best deals on graphing calculators. We're not going to see huge sales on these. These are just always and forever expensive items. So a few options for you. One is to look in the used category. So guys, this is a TI-89. It has not changed much. This was my husband's in college. I still have mine from high school. They still do the exact same things that they used to do. I don't want to know. I'm not going to tell you how many years ago. Some of them even look the same. So a few things have changed, though. If you are in graphing calculator mode, I will be a TI spokesperson here for a second. The new models of TIs that came out last year that were, I think, 84s and up are all now rechargeable, which is really, really awesome, versus having to stick in your batteries in the back. So the rechargeable ones versus the battery ones are lighter, thinner, and no more batteries, which could have saved me from missing out on a few tests when my calculator wouldn't work. So that's the big difference. If you want to go used versus new, is that new does have those two additions. The other new feature of the, and this is going to be, it's higher than an 84, it's probably 89 and up, is that it color graphs. So we can graph multiple things and it's all pretty. As a nurse, I didn't need that feature. It just depends on how you're using your calculator. Now, best deals on these, again, look used if you don't care about those two new features, or to find the sale, and the sale is going to be just different based on the model you're looking for, but find the sale and then price match that at Staples. The Staples price match includes laptops, it includes electronics, so it's 110% price match guarantee. That's going to become the best deal for you. Where we saw graphing calculators last year was about 80 bucks on sale with coupons or on sale with gift cards. These are normally in the 129 to 139 range for the really, really high-end models of TIs. So to get that for 80 bucks is pretty awesome. And just to emphasize one thing here, I'm kind of a math nerd, guys. So if this is on one of your kids' school supply lists and you've never bought a graphing calculator before, you need to get the one that they are telling you to buy. The reason, if you're sending your kid in with this thing and they've never used it before, and we've got like 4 billion buttons on it, and they get, plus, minus, those are there for right there, that they actually understand. If you send them in with one that's different from the one that the teacher is teaching on, they're going to really, really struggle. So don't go off list for these items. Buy what the school tells you to buy. If your kid's a genius, then you can step up and instead of getting the 83, get the 89. It's got more features and they can use it longer. But I wouldn't go away from the brand and the model if they're going to need any sort of help on how to use that calculator. So Melanie, yes, Georgia does not, North Carolina does not have tax-free anymore. Let's see. What about manila paper and other items that are specialized? So writing tablets, Mead 2 to 3 notebooks. So we're going to see a lot of our very specific items. So Duotang pocket folders, composition notebooks, all of those items are still going to become super cheap. If you're looking for multiple subject spiral notebooks, you will be able to get 3 to 5 subject notebooks for as low as $2 a piece. Even for Mead, they'll go on sale. We'll also see coupons for Mead and five star. They're both kind of the same. We'll see coupons for those in the Sunday paper and printables that will come out. So watching for those to pair in with your sales. Also watch grocery stores for some of those more expensive items. Publix is probably going to be 2 weeks out. We're going to see all of the back-to-school BOGOs start to add in, and they will run those same back-to-school BOGOs for most of the back-to-school season once they start. But that is always locks for your locker, scissors, highlighters, subject notebooks, composition notebooks. There's a lot of things. They always do the same grouping, so that would be a place that I would check too. Let's see. So what about lunch boxes? Lauren, I would encourage you, that's an online purchase for me. All sorts of folks sell them, and it's kind of like their gateway to backpacks. So So if they can get you in to look at their lunchbox deals, maybe you'll stay and buy their backpack deals. So we see some incredible online deals for lunchboxes. Bean and Lands' End do have some really cute models. It just depends on what your kids want. And really when it comes to backpacks, for lunchboxes, it's going to depend on what is allowed at your school, and I would say being okay with them losing it. So personally, I wouldn't pay for some really swanky high-end lunchbox that you think is going to last forever because they're probably going to lose it a lot sooner than forever if we're going for the long-term sticking around and keeping onto it. Just most kids, it's just not going to be there at the end of the year. But we do have some good ones for online deals. I probably wouldn't pay more than $7 or $8 for a lunchbox personally. For other backpack deals, if you're wanting to look in other places, what we have seen at Staples and Office Depot in the past, I can't guarantee that this will continue, but they've done it for probably the last 3 years in a row now, is they have run towards the end of school season, so you've got to almost wait right until back to school season starts. Both Staples and Office Depot offered 50% back in their store rewards if you bought a backpack. So that made 50% off, and a lot of the backpacks were already on clearance by that point. So they hit that first week in August and they start panicking. They've had school supplies on sale now for a month and you didn't buy them. So they're scared that you're not going to come. So waiting until the last possible minute to buy a backpack can usually make for the best deals that you're going to find. So Maria wants us to chat about the merger between Rite Aid and Walgreens. There have been some changes. Walgreens scrapped their original plan late last week and said, you know what, this isn't going to clear with the FTC on it being a monopoly, and so they created a new plan. The new plan is that they're only going to buy about 2/3 of the stores that they were planning on buying from Rite Aid, leaving about 1/3 of the stores of Rite Aid still around. So the current plan would be that 1/3 of the Rite Aids would still exist. Sadly, that's not going to be across the country. So they are buying most of the Rite Aids on the East Coast and the Southeast. So that's going to affect almost all of us. For those of you that are not East Coast and Southeast, you might still have some Rite Aids left in the Northeast and out West, but I expect most of them in our neck of the woods will just become Walgreens or be shut down. That's their current offer. It's still going to have to be approved by the FTC, though, before it gets enacted. So that's where they stand. The original plan was that this merger would have happened by July. So we're here, but now you're just kind of getting delayed a little bit more. I don't know what the new end date is on it, Maria, but they still have to wait for it to be approved. Okay. Walmart has college ruled and wide ruled notebooks for 25 cents. We'll see those little one subject notebooks as low as 17 cents. That's what we saw last year. Kroger had amazingly good prices on one subject notebooks, as did Publix. But Staples, Office Depot, all of those, they're going to run like 5 for $1. That's 20 cents a piece. So if Walmart's already winning on them, that's great. They've got a good price, but you'll still see somewhat lower in other stores as well. Does Crayola ever release coupons or any of the name brand school companies? So Carrie, Crayola does not. I love their crayons, and they definitely win over the other brands in terms of quality. But when it comes to marketing, they're kind of, I don't know, they're just old fuddy-duddies in my book. They don't like to do any outside marketing. They don't really think they need to. We'll see some occasional crayon coupons. I know last year we saw crayon and Juicy Juice mixed together. And we saw Crayola coupons inside Juicy Juice packages, but we don't get them in the Sunday paper. Coupons you will get. We saw Elmer's. We've already seen some Bic stationery. Bic makes like those crystal pens. They make mechanical pencils. We'll see Pilot. We've already seen some. We'll see some more. We'll see Sharpie. We'll see Sharpie pens and Sharpie highlighters. We'll see Mead and 5 Star. This is like a Stump Jenny kind of question. But I think that's most of the ones we see that are manufacturers. What we will see a lot of is Cartwheels at Target. So be on the lookout for those. And remember, Target Cartwheels can always be used with manufacturers' coupons. So if I can stack those two together, even more great deals because of it. But Cartwheels are going to be a much broader range of coupons than we're going to see nationwide manufacturers. So Amazon Prime Day, Katie asked, which is next week, next Tuesday is Amazon Prime Day. It's so hard to know what deals you're going to see. Some of the deals you're going to see are going to be junk. They're not going to be things you want because any seller on Amazon can take advantage and reduce prices, but a lot of times they'll mark things up before they mark things down. What I would look for in terms of the big things, all the little deals that we have right now, and like Kindle Unlimited, and which went away, but that one's already ended. The one for Amazon Music that's going to end before Prime Day. All of those will come back on Prime Day. So if you missed the 40% off Kindle Unlimited, you'll be able to get it again next Tuesday. I would also look for deals on streaming movies that normally you would rent for like $4. They're either going to be super cheap to rent or super cheap to buy. A lot of them, think Amazon products, because that's where the biggest discount's going to be on Prime. Sold by Amazon, not necessarily fulfilled by Amazon because that's a third-party seller, but sold by Amazon, looking for those items. Kindles, Amazon Fire, all of those items are going to be pretty cheap too if you're looking for anything in those categories. Let's see. So I love, a lot of you guys are saying your school supply lists are already up, and which is great. So check your school website in case you don't already have it. Margot says, is the lawnmower deal the same as patio stuff? Yeah, it really is. Late summer, that's when a lot of the things are going to go on sale and get the best prices. About lunch boxes, Kathy on the YouTube side says, what about bento style boxes? We still see those at good prices too, Kathy, and probably looking online, Amazon, and similar sites are going to have the best option for you. If you're looking in the store, when we come to lunch boxes and backpacks, not grocery items, but when you're in the store, don't forget, and I've mentioned this a few times when we've talked online shopping, but to use the Southern Savers app, and Pantene's a bad example. Here we go. It's Staples brand, so it's still kind of a bad example, but you're looking at something and you want to know, is it a good price? Use the Southern Savers app and scan the barcode. So on the back of an item, scan the barcode. It's going to show you where that item is the cheapest price online right now. It's just comparing online. It's not going to compare ads, like weekly ads, but it's still going to give me a good idea if I'm looking for that bento lunchbox or I'm looking for a JanSport backpack. Can I find that cheaper right now before I make the purchase? It's a good way to jump into and get some savings without a lot of struggle. Cecile's saying, what about the best time to buy a gas grill? It's the same, guys. So all of that outdoor, anything that you would use during the summer is not normally a great price in the summer. So I'm going to save a lot more to buy those items in the late fall or crazy early spring, but not right now. And I know that's hard because you want one. You can start looking mid-September if you want to go a little early, but they're going to be even cheaper if we can hold off into that first week in October, because they are hard pressed for floor space. They want all of that out so they can bring in Christmas. I'm trying to catch up with you guys. Lots of comments. I love it. It always makes this so much fun. And try Craigslist. Yeah, that's a great idea too, Stephanie. So for the folks that really want to grill right now, trying Craigslist, seeing what we can find that's used to get us through the summer. Maybe even if it's falling apart, get you through the summer, and then spend some money to get a good one at a really decent price. Cindy says, can I buy straight from the Samsung website and use for Straight Talk? Yes. So the deal that we grabbed, the buy one, get one deal, those are all for unlocked phones, which means they can be used on any carrier whatsoever. So you're good to go if you're buying an unlocked phone. Not going to have to worry about what carrier is the provider. And it appears that my husband jumped in and answered that one for you too, Cindy. So awesome. let's see. Oh, and folks are chiming in on the Staples paper, and that it's 50 cents this week with rewards. So might want to do that one too. When's the Brother printer going on sale? So Anne, look for the Brother printer to start being a really great price next week. It is in some of the weekly ads this week, but it's not the wireless version this week. That's a really great price. It's the old school, you got to plug the computer into it version, is 50 bucks, and that's not really the one you want. In today's world, you want to be able to print from your phone and your iPad. You want the wireless version, and I can only print from my phone or my iPad from that printer. So next week is when we'll start to see the wireless ones on sale. So Teresa has a CVS question, and the Aussie coupon, my register receipt, and I have the same coupon in the CVS app for Aussie. Can I stack them? Yes, Teresa. So CVS, well, let me back up. Heidi and I were having this over email. So CVS is rolling out inside the app for various folks coupons that are identical to coupons.com. They even look that way. So a normal CVS coupon in the app is not colorful. It doesn't have any pictures. It just says $2 off of Aussie Hair Care. That's it. But then you'll see, and not everyone sees these yet, it's been rolled out, I would guess, to about 50% of users at this point. You'll see below those coupons ones that have pictures of Aussie Hair Care. They have $3 off Aussie Hair Care. Those are manufacturer's coupons, and this is something new that they are adding. So those in particular cannot be used with paper coupons. But if I'm getting a traditional CVS coupon, I can use that always with a manufacturer's coupon. Now, to make sure I clarify too, you're saying you got a coupon on your CVS receipt and you have one in the CVS app. So, and I kind of missed that when I first answered Teresa. So those are probably both CVS coupons, store coupons. The only way to stack them would be to buy enough items. So when you load the Aussie coupon to your card, it's really only going to want to take one of them off for the purchase. So if the purchase, and I don't know what your coupon was, but if the coupon is for $1 off of one Pantene, kind of going a different brand because that's what's right next to me, then I would need to buy 2 Pantenes to use both of those store coupons, if that makes sense. That's typically how all the store coupons work. What about notebook paper? So Nicole, the best price that we saw last week for just filler paper, or last year, for filler paper is 25 cents for a pack of filler paper. Make sure you're comparing apples to apples because some stores are going to have 75 count, some stores are going to have 150 count. So let's make sure we're actually looking at the same price versus sheets of paper. But that 25 cents was for the 100 count packages of filler paper. That was at Target, that was at Staples and Office Depot last year. So hopefully you should still see about the same prices on that one. And on the app, it can say manufacturer's coupon, Teresa, but if there's no picture and it's not super colorful, it just looks like all the other CVS coupons in the app, it's really not a manufacturer's coupon. They just say that. But it can still be used with a manufacturer's coupon. It is still a store coupon. Unless you have the really colorful with a picture, then it really is a manufacturer's coupon, but the other ones are not. Let's see. Can you take those manufacturer coupons off of your CVS app? That's all I get anymore. They've stopped sending me store ones. No, you can't really take them off. If you don't like them, you don't load them to your card, but they still stay there as options for you. I might actually complain if I were you. Send them a note to their Facebook page, send them an email, kind of just let them know, like, hey, I'm kind of bummed with your coupon offerings. The more responses that they get, the more likely they are to do something about it. Okay, I have a Straight Talk phone that works on AT&T since Verizon doesn't work here and still get an unlocked one. And yeah, so you're good. Just stick in the unlocked world, Cindy. So we're running out of time, but I still had some other things I wanted us to hit on. iPads being one of them. So a lot of folks always ask, what about, as we kind of jump in, and Joni, I hope live is working because I just saw your comment. So you may just want to wait until we're done and watch in the end if it's kind of buffering or causing issues for you. iPads, tablets. We're going to see some good deals on Amazon tablets on Prime Day, like I mentioned, but iPads in general are actually, they break the mold. So where I told you in the very beginning that we want to buy laptops now and not when it comes to Black Friday, iPads are the opposite. We see better deals on iPads around the holiday season than we do in back to school season. So if you're looking for a tablet device for your kids and you want to save money on it, I would actually, the only real advice I can give you is that I would encourage you to not buy the Apple version. And it's hard for me, I'm an Apple girl, but you're going to get a much better deal buying the Amazon Fire, buying a no-name, buying even the Samsung. There's so many tablets on the market. Just make sure that you're buying an Android tablet and not a Windows tablet. It's one thing if we're going Windows Surface and this is going to be a computer for you, but if you're buying it and it's going to run on the Windows platform, there's not as many apps that you're going to be able to use on those platforms as there are in the Android market. And even that Amazon Fire, you're still going to have to get your apps from the Amazon store, and you're still going to be limited on those apps as well. But there are a lot of off-brand Android tablets that you can grab. That's what I would grab for back to school season versus grabbing a $400 iPad that isn't going to be on sale until Christmas season, but grabbing it now, it's not really going to make things the best price that you're looking for, and then you're going to kick yourself when your kids lose it. But sticking a lot cheaper is going to make things a lot happier for you. Can Catalina coupons be used in different stores? So that was B's question on the YouTube side. Yes, that Catalina coupon that prints, oh, I have one. Hold on, it blew on the floor. I always lose folks, always dropping things. So this guy that prints in another store has a big old Rite Aid logo on it. I can use this anywhere. So you head in and you do the Huggies diaper deal at Walgreens or whatever deals you're grabbing. I can turn around and use this in any store that I want. It is a manufacturer's coupon, and it even says that across the top. So I don't have to use it in the store that gave it to me. It doesn't matter. Use it anywhere that you want. Okay, what about ink for printers? So I mentioned this actually this morning. I popped on and shared some crazy good deals in the drugstores, and we ended up in printer mode questions. I would encourage you, it's time to switch into being a LaserJet person or laser printer person and going toner. No more inkjet. You're going to save a lot of money to get out of inkjets. So getting that Brother laser printer that we were just talking about earlier, it'll be on sale starting next week. The toner for that printer, we can get on Amazon for about 10 bucks pretty much all the time. And that toner will last you almost a year. So for the price that you can get new inkjets, just get a new printer and just switch to toner. And it'll be something you never think about again. So, and Christine says, I just got home from CVS. I got 70 bucks down to 27, and then I got 15 bucks back. So yes, this is a great week. You can pop over to the Facebook videos tab on our Facebook page. If you head to the Southern Savers Facebook page, click on videos, and you'll see the one that I did earlier today. It's like 10 minutes long on the crazy good deals in all the drugstores. It's definitely not a week to stay home. Most of you have tomorrow off anyway. You know, maybe it's time to just get out there and go shopping since you won't be at work. Camerica says, my kids are in the stage where they want to choose the clothing that I buy for them, but the clothing that I get off season is so much cheaper. So what do you suggest for me to do? So Camerica, I'm kind of entering that mode with my older girls, but I've always bought their clothes, so they're still giving me a little bit more wiggle room. What I encourage them to do is tell me, you know, what colors do you want? What kind of styles are you looking for? That kind of thing, so I have an idea. I know one of them loves anything mint green, which she is in luck because it is just all over the place right now. And it may not be her favorite thing to wear, but if it's mint green, she'll wear it, so we're still good. The other thing I would do is trying to maybe look online and taking screenshots and sharing the screenshots with them. Like, hey, this is what I was going to put in the cart, or put it all in the cart and get them to approve it before you check out. If they're, you know, really getting into that age where they don't want mom doing any of their shopping, that might be what you, where you went. So Maria, the video that I did today, I have not stuck it up on the webpage, but I can do that tomorrow if you want me to. I just popped into Facebook and did it earlier today. Yep, and Aaron, it just stuck in the link too to our YouTube channel where you can watch all of our past live hangouts too. They're all saved on the YouTube side. So B, if you get a store that says that you can't use these and they say no, so the first thing you can try for anyone that tries to do that, just ask them, you know what, hey, will you scan it? If this is a Rite Aid coupon, it won't work here. Let's just scan it and see what it does. It's going to work. You know it's going to work. So let's just get them to try it. Point out that it says manufacturer's coupon. You can also turn it over. There's lots of fine print on the back. And one of the fine print says, it is valid in the USA, Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands. There are no Rite Aids in some of those places. You are good no matter where you want to use this. It is a manufacturer's coupon. Now, if they still refuse, there's not much that you can do there. You can just try your hardest. One store I know of that I wouldn't try this particular one is Publix. Publix has ingrained their cashiers that they do not take drugstore coupons. And so they're going to see that Rite Aid and they're just going to bulk from the get-go. But any other store, I'm really not going to have a hard time using that at all. And Amazon Prime Day is next Tuesday, July 11th. So I will be sharing all the deals that I can find. And I may do a Facebook Live. It's a tricky day for me. I will be traveling, but we will try to cover it as best we can with everything that we find throughout the day, and probably do a roundup too at the end of the day. The super good deals on Amazon Prime Day that we saw last year were timed, so watch for that. A lot of lightning deals, which I know for a lot of folks here at work, it's almost like they should do this Amazon Prime thing on July 4th when no one's at work. But it's a work day. Just be ready for timed issues. Christine says, what is this Amazon Prime Day? Amazon Prime every year does a special day for Amazon Prime. It's really to drive memberships. They want you have to be Prime to be able to get any of the deals, so they're pushing you to do that. I did post a link, and I will try to stick this one in the chats too. We did a whole post on how you get $40 in cash back if you have never had an Amazon Prime membership and you wanted to grab one now. So you could go that route if you wanted to jump in and just be ready with a membership. It makes for it basically it's going to cost you $59 for a year of Amazon. That's a pretty good deal. We've never seen it that low. But Prime is their membership. Yes, Maria. So Prime is where I'm getting free 2-day shipping. I'm getting free streaming of their videos, free Amazon Prime Music, free Amazon Prime Kindle lending library. They've tried to put a lot of features into it, but it does cost $99 a year. But right now you can get $40 back in Amazon, basically Amazon gift cards through various steps before July 11th. So you have to do it before Prime Day to take full advantage of that offer. And I'll stick it in the comments. I posted it over the weekend, so it'll just take me a minute to find it. Okay, so we hit the end of our hangout. I do want to tell you guys, and I'll try to remind you too over the weekend, we're not going to do a Q&A next week. My husband and I are going to have some time away, and that wouldn't be very sweet of him if I took our evening away to be online. He already sees me enough online as it is, so no Q&A next Tuesday night, but we will jump right back in with no breaks for the rest of July. So I hope you guys have a good 2 weeks, and I'll pop in with occasional deals as we find them and great coupons. So you'll still see me, but no Monday night next week. We can all do something else. And I will see you guys in 2 weeks, 8:30, same time, same place, every week. So you guys have a great break, and feel free to send me emails if you've got questions, Jenny@southernsavers.com. Or you can give me a Facebook message as well. I have even seen some popping in. I've seen some popping in as we chat. So I get those Facebook messages all the time on my phone. It's a great way to get a hold of me if you ever have any questions that you want super fast. So I will talk to you guys again in a couple weeks. And you guys have a great 4th of July.